Jai Hind and a very good morning to our guest for today, Mrs. Vineeta Datte, RMD Dr. Jai Singh, our Dean Dr. Poonam Nikam, faculty members and the students of IIEBM. I, Prashant Kumawat, MC for today, accord you a warm and cordial welcome for today's guest lecture. Now, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce Mrs. Vineeta Datte. Ma'am, may I have your permission to proceed? Thank you, ma'am. Mrs. Vineeta Datte is a retired high school science teacher. She has completed her master's in science education at King's College London and taught in London for 15 years. After about 22 years, she returned to India to do something for our country, Bharat. Here, ma'am joined the founder member of ECA, Mr. Vikas Patil, in 2012, and they both worked relentlessly to save environment. Ma'am is the president, chairperson of ECA, which is known as Environment Conservation Association. Talking about ECA, it does work in the following areas to save our environment. It reduces all types of pollution, waste management awareness and cleanliness drives, e-waste drives and experience at e-waste center, tree plantations, providing and encouraging renewable energies, rainwater harvesting installations, starting an e-waste center come hobby center in Bosri, providing solutions to any environmental issues. Now, without any further delay, I would like to call Mrs. Vineeta Datte to address the young mind present over here. Over to you, ma'am.
Can you hear me at the back? Yeah. Okay, great. I'm not going to waste too much of your time, but I'll get started. And I can't stand behind something, unfortunately, and talk. So either I'll come down or it's okay, doesn't matter. Yeah? All right. So you can hear me clearly at the back? Mm-hmm. So first of all, Jai Hind to all of you. Jai Hind. Thank you. Nice to see you all awake. So what is ECA about? ECA, first of all, is Environment Conservation Association. Okay, it's an NGO. So NGO meaning, and I'm sure you're going to be working, sir was saying, for CSR projects, you look at how NGOs are functioning. So it's a non-government organization, there's no profit. And the other part is that it's all voluntary. So nobody is paid in our organization, except if there's some admin help, there might be a contract to pay the person for a few months, okay? So get inspired. The reason I'm writing this is because when I always see this national anthem and you see our soldiers who are there and what kind of conditions they go through, and when we look at ourselves, we are living in luxury, yeah? And they are looking after our land, they are looking after us, and we can't even do that. So that is the first message which we all should try and understand, is we need to protect our environment. We need to protect everything we have in India, in Bharat, in Hindustan, because they are trying to protect us and we are doing nothing. So we could at least do that much, that little bit to help them, right? They also need to have some fresh air. They need to have no pollution when they go back on their holidays or whatever it is, or wherever they go in India. So, ECA, and can I have the next slide, please? Thank you. I don't have the slide changer here. Do you have a slide changer or anything? Yeah, please. So it's an NGO, and it's just, this is just information about the NGO, where the office is. If you can move on, please. Next slide. Right. So how does it work? So we've got a team, like you have a team here. Every place there is a team. Right? So we have a chairperson, secretary, treasurer, and we have trustees. And then we have team leaders. So like you have designations here in the college, we have team leaders. And they come up with ideas. We take those ideas. If it's possible to go ahead with it, we carry it on. Okay? And we complete the projects. It's not a top-down approach. So whatever people come up with issues, problems, we'll take that forward, depending on if we get any funds. Some of them are without funding, some are with funding. Okay, next one, please. And volunteers, of course. Without volunteers, we can't do anything. It's a team effort. So how do we work? We have to engage with everybody first, like I'm engaging with you right now. because you're a new batch. So without engagement, nothing happens. You have to explain what you do. Only then the people might think about it and they might be ready to help. So again, it's ECA, engage, communicate, and then act upon it. Okay? So Environment Conservation Association, same thing. Again, when you look at the way we work, it's engage, communicate, act. Okay. Next one, please. Yeah, so what ECA does and the impact it has, I'm just going to take you through that. The impact is the most important here. Okay? Yeah, if you could. Okay. So to spread awareness about anything about the environment, we've actually got more than 200 to 300 schools under us. So there are PCMC schools and private schools. So we try and visit the schools. We cannot visit it like every month, but we try and go and see them. And we talk to them, spread awareness about all environment issues and all environment-related social issues also. Okay, so we'll come to that in a minute. So if you go ahead, please. So this is, again, going to schools and colleges and talking. Yeah, so one way is Prabhat Feri. Now, what is Prabhat Feri? Prabhat Feri is they carry banners, they carry slogans, they might be saying them. And we go through bastis, we go through villages. Now, we've done this at Ambedkar Basti, we've done this in Pimpri Chinchwad, there is a basti there near Moshi. We've done it there, then we've done another one near Gurkul. We've also, this photo is actually, I think, in Pimple Nilak. And there's the students carrying banners and slogans. They're going through the whole village, telling people about waste segregation, saving water, also about how they can help by not throwing rubbish outside. Okay? Yeah. Next one, please. So this was another door-to-door thing which we did, a project, and that was, it was very, very effective. And the reason it was effective was they actually spoke to all the household people and they asked them, what do you do with the rubbish? And to tell you very frankly, all these people will tell you the truth. They will say, "Naimi bahar takla." You know, I've thrown the kach. And there are different organizations like Rudra International, they change plastics to polyfuel. Okay, so not all plastics can be changed. There are some plastics and they need clean ones. And the plastic which is dirty, that can be given to PCMC or to Pune, PMC. And then they make roads out of it, or they make these pavements. Okay? Again, spreading awareness in communities. So these are just same sort of pictures. Then we have cleaning drives, and your previous batch had come for one of the cleaning drives. And it was brilliant, yeah. They did a super job there. It's not just going and picking up litter, but it's also telling people around not to throw it there. So it worked for 6 months, but then after that, again, we've come back to, you know, the old habits die hard, as they say. So we'll have to do that again at some point. And this is not just in one place, we do it in many areas. So what is the impact? So engage the community to save the environment. What are we doing? Students and adults become aware about waste segregation. Why are we doing it? Why should we separate suka kachra, ola kachra, yeah, kitchen waste, wet waste, dry waste? Why? So the reason is because the wet waste can be composted, okay? And the dry waste, out of that also you can have almost zero waste because most are recyclables. You have paper, cardboard, plastic, all can be recycled. Then the thing is, the idea of this spreading awareness is some people will actually listen. Some people might think about it at least. So we've reached the public. That is the main aim. Then this is the work in the community. So we might go and have a stall in the Mahotsav, or we look at seminars. We might go to traffic police, talk to them. So I'll give you one example where college students, Indira college students, and you could take part in that too. So they did a project on what happens to policemen when they're standing at chowks. So we took the blood pressure before, when they just came on duty, and after just 1 hour, and the BP actually rises. And why does it rise? It's because of stress caused mainly due to people blowing their horns. It is very, very stressful. Okay, you try standing at a chowk at some point and you'll see what happens. And pollution, of course, right? So that's what, again, we are trying to reduce. So this is a traffic awareness program which we've been doing, and telling people that if you go the wrong way, it's not only you, you'll kill someone else as well. So it's better to follow traffic rules. The main area which we're going for is discipline. And that I can see in your college is brilliant, and hoping that you also use it in your own daily lives, because that's when everything works. So traffic awareness, again, impact is people might think of not honking as much, may not blow the horn, especially when it's a school or a hospital area. You've got to be a bit aware of your surroundings. Think about other people also. Because at the moment, I feel we're all very selfish. We must think of others before us, I think. Then they also realize, people realize the effect of sound, air pollution, whatever happens, and road safety. So this is the impact this is the feedback which we got from any colleges or schools or communities where we gave these talks, and where whichever colleges took part in the research, that's what they found. Then this is another thing, Ganpati festival, they have Ganesh idols. So we collect these idols along with other NGOs, and especially if they're made of POP, because there's no point chucking, immersing them in rivers and things, because they don't dissolve. And then unfortunately, I don't know how many of you might have seen near the rivers and lakes previously, you can just see a leg or a head or something. It's really sad. So we're collecting these idols now along with PCMC, and then they are put into chemicals and dissolved. And we are also requesting people to use Shadu Mati. Shadu Mati is like clay. And that also we collect and recycle. Okay? So it's done on a large scale with PCMC. So to motivate them, we'd given cloth bags, or we give some compost bags or something like that. So people will come and give us the Nirmalya is the puja stuff which they use. They give us that, and the Ganesh idol as well. So this impact, you already know that people are then giving us all their Ganpatis. They're getting a little more aware. In fact, this year, I think it was over 50%, which is excellent. That is 50% of people gave their Ganesh idols to PCMC. Okay, so that's a big, I think, something to pat our backs on. Diwali Youth, again, I know we all want fireworks. We all, you enjoy that. But again, they cause sound, air pollution. And it causes eczema, it causes lung disease. So many people suffer actually. Okay, and then you have those bombs. You probably know those bombs. What happens? Your eardrums can get affected. In fact, I think this time with DJs being used, there have been 2-3 cases of heart attacks. Right? So we need to reduce this sound pollution. And it's not only us. What about the animals? They start running around everywhere. Birds start flying. They leave their nests. So you got to think about all this. And we go to colleges, schools. They take an oath that they will reduce fireworks, firecrackers, because you're spending money. It's like burning money. Instead of that, we tell them, you can maybe spend time with your family, buy some clothes. If they want new clothes, maybe get some good food to eat. Yeah? So that is what we are promoting and motivating students. So impact of Diwali Youth, when we gave them, we told them about this in schools. So noise and air pollution is reduced during Diwali. That is definite. That has been informed by the commissioner himself. People are aware of the hazards of air pollution. And so they're reducing buying fireworks. That is another thing which we got to know from the firework industry. And they're not very happy with us, but well, it's for pollution and it's for everyone's good. Plantation drive, these are students from this college. So that's why I've included that photo. Indira College and your college. So we did these plantation drives in the defense land and other areas. And those trees are doing quite well right now. So we are pleased to inform you. And I'm hoping that each one of you at least plants one tree and looks after it, basically. You have to make sure it's looked after. Only then it works. Otherwise, in the summer, they die. right? So what we are doing is we are planting these trees in gardens, indigenous trees in gardens, so they'll be looked after. Like you have mango, imli, all these trees, people, banyan, so that these are our indigenous trees and they attract insects and wildlife. If you plant something like glyceridia or subabul, you don't get many birds on them at all. And unfortunately, what's happened is some of the government agencies, they got these trees free. So they just planted them all over the hilltops. And at the moment, their leaves are very acidic, especially glyceridia. So nothing grows underneath it. Okay? So, and the picture down there is at a village. So, colleges have NSS camps. So we go there and help them with different events. So this was a plantation drive in a village called Sherkewadi. And the trees have been planted around houses. So they're being looked after. So the same college goes there, I think, for 3 years. So we've seen the trees grow. So maybe we can do something like that. Rainwater harvesting. Who can tell me what's rainwater harvesting? Any ideas, anyone? Just put your hand up and yeah.
Jai Hind ma'am, Anyasha this side. Rainwater harvesting is mainly storing the rainwater
Okay, storing the rainwater.
for future purpose.
Right, okay. So, storing rainwater, or you can actually recharge. You can recharge the bore well, okay? So storing they do in Rajasthan, many areas, but they also recharge. So if the borewell is there, you can already connect the rooftops and you can put it into like a soak pit before, and then it goes into the, whatever is extra goes into the bore. If you don't have the soak pit, sometimes the bore in the monsoon gets too full. It cannot accommodate any more water, and you see the water coming out. So people say, what is the use? It's all coming out. So it's better to have a soak pit and then enter the bore. So we've done this on 51 schools, 51 PCMC schools, to help them with the water. So some of the schools didn't have any PCMC water coming in, okay, or they had it only for a little while. So now they're using motors and they're using the bore wells, because the bore wells are now getting water. And the basti around that school, they've also seen water levels rise, groundwater, because groundwater depletion is huge in India, because 40% of water we use is groundwater. So again, groundwater table recharge, that is the effect which you've seen in urban area. The tube wells which are dry, they start filling up. It's all this thing which you can actually see when you do rainwater harvesting. Then we've also installed solar. So solar panels have been installed at ZP schools, and this is through CSR. And also in villages, we've given 3 lights and a mobile charging point. So all households, 110 households at Shelkewadi and at Ghadgar, they've all got 3 bulbs and a mobile point. And the reason why they need it is it's not that they don't have an electrical connection. The electrical connection is there, but they can't pay for it. No money to pay the electric bills. Okay, so this is very useful for them. The other thing is same with the schools, ZP schools in these villages. They cannot pay the electricity bills. So what happens? The electricity gets disconnected. So with the help of this solar energy which we are giving them, they're not using the MSCB electricity at all. So they obviously reduce the bill. Something you have to pay. I think 100 rupees you have to pay for the connection. And the rest, they're using solar. So it helps them a lot. So that's another area we are, this is one of the projects which is ongoing. And anyone, even if anyone of you want to come and see it, it's a brilliant thing to come and watch them, talk to the villagers, and see their reaction, see the impact of this renewable energy. Then they have got gas, cooking gas. You've seen the Modi government, they've given everybody cooking gas, electricity. Quite a few villages have that. Again, no money to pay. So even though the gas is there in their kitchen, they're not using it. They're still using wood. right? So when we went to Ghadgar, what happened was that lady was saying, we feel scared to go out because there are leopards around. So they have to go out to collect wood. So then we gave them solar cookers. Okay. So this is another one. Sorry, solar cookers are not shown there. So we gave them solar cookers and they're using that. The only problem is they can't use it for 3 months when it's raining, monsoon time. But otherwise, all your dal, chawal, whatever sabji they're making in that. So that's another initiative which we started. And that was not through company or CSR donations, but through individual donations. Okay, so we subsidize it and it's not given free. If you give anything free, there's no value. So they actually pay something towards it. And then you give them a solar cooker or whatever it is. And same with the solar panel. So they were fitted on each house. So we take something from them so that if anything goes wrong, we can use that money to repair. Okay? Now it's not 500, but it's now 800. Okay, so what happens is MasterCard. You've all heard of MasterCard? So they gave us, up till now, they've given us 800 and we are getting another 200 laptops. So these laptops have been given to PCMC schools and to ZP schools. So here I'm sure you've got a computer lab and each one of you gets a chance on the laptop. There is one laptop per ZP school. So that's what we are trying to provide each ZP school with a laptop. For admin reasons, they need it. And also for scholarships. So now the children are actually sitting for scholarship exams on the laptop. Okay? And taking, for example, they've got to fill in forms for it so they can do it on that. Otherwise, it was impossible for any village child to take up scholarships. So this has been another very effective program. And you can see how all the kids, they just absolutely love it. They have all kinds of interactive sessions for maths, science, English. And it helps with the teaching as well. Okay, I'm not going to go through that now. So this is another project which we did was for waste segregation. We gave our PCMC about 1,600 dual bins. And these bins you can actually see in PCMC area. Why do we do it? It's to help people understand the importance of waste segregation and also the waste which was coming in there. Part of the wet waste was being composted. But right now, I think they're looking at a waste to energy at PCMC. So hopefully that'll work maybe by next year. So these bins you will see around in the PCMC area. And we got these through CSR. So this was a huge project, over 1 crore rupees through CSR funding. Composting plant was installed at the railway station. Okay, so railway station, you think, oh, why do you need a composting plant there? So the thing is, all trains coming through and all at the railway station, they make a lot of organic waste. And of course, the trees and the leaves and all that. So this plant is a vermicomposter. It's a vermicompost, or it's called a digester as well. So they put leaves and the kitchen waste or organic waste, shred it, and then put it in there. And it's actually still functioning. So we've just gone and seen it the other day. And a similar composter is now is already installed at Bhaje Balgram. It's Sampalk Balgram. So there they have kids who've come from, unfortunately, prostitutes, juvenile offenders. It's their kids who are at that center. And they've got about 130 children there. So maybe if some of you want to visit also, because it helps when children, students like you go and talk to them. Because when they come in there, they're really demoralized. And it helps a lot to motivate them. So there we've given a composter, and we are visiting this Monday, coming Monday. So Ghadgar, this is that Adivasi village I was talking about, where we've given solar cookers and lights. So that lady, it's actually a video, but I will send it to you and you can listen to her maybe later. She talks in Marathi about how effective it's been. Because the kids can actually study. Otherwise, by 5 o'clock, the house is dark. And there's no chance, nothing, no TV, nothing. because they were not using electricity. Of course, on solar, the TV is not working, but at least the kids can study. Yeah. So this is another principle of that Ghatgar school, and it's helping them a lot. Now, even this school looks really posh here. The old building was terrible, awful. They got CSR money through some other company, and the new school was made, and then we gave them the solar power there. And these kids really want to learn. So if any of you, sir, and any of your students interested actually going and mentoring any of these children, it'll be brilliant. This is just impact, and to see the bills and how the units they were using has come down using solar electricity. The ladies can cook and do other chores using lights, otherwise they have to sit in the dark on a chula. Adults use their phones for charging at night. And students study, otherwise there's nothing. Once the school is finished, no studying. It's nice for them, but actually they don't progress at all. Sherkewadi, that's another place where we've given solar electricity. There's some pictures from there, and solar cookers there as well. So you can see that small panel is just a 1 foot by 1 foot panel, and that gives you 3 lights and a mobile charging point. And that's fitted on the roof. Now that was also difficult. And the reason why I'm telling you is, we don't realize, we don't think of these things. Because their roofs are just, some of them are made out of tin, some of them are like breaking. So to put these panels up also a huge job. You have to find a place. And then it has to be in a sunny position. Okay? So yeah, see that house over there. Okay? So I would advise go into these areas and see these areas so you know how those people are living and how we can help them. And this issue, the people themselves, they talk to us about this. So, when I said environment-related social issues, this is what it is. So they give us a call or they write to us and tell us, please, can you do something for us? Because we have electricity, we have gas, but we can't use it. So that's just some villagers talking. You can have a look. Maybe, sir, if you can show them these videos later at some point. So this, with solar cookers, they're also reducing tree cutting. Because otherwise they used to go and cut all the trees there and use it, for wood. Okay, now this is about e-waste. So e-waste is any electronic waste, and we are all continuously, all the time, using a lot of electronic. All this is electronic waste. Mic, this, your phone, whatever you're using is electronic waste. So we've now, seeing our work in PCMC, PCMC gave us a 1 acre plot. Free of cost. You ever heard of that? Nobody's ever heard of that. It's because of the trust they have. And they've given us this plot to manage this e-waste center for 15 years. And I think they will definitely, thank you. I'm sure we can manage to get another 15 years. And we started the e-waste center there, and that is what I was telling Jai Singh sir, that you all can come and visit it. It's not actual recycling, but we dismantle. So you'll get an idea as to what all there is in a fridge, in a washing machine, and all these big gadgets, in a computer, laptop, whatever. And there's a chance also, if anyone's interested, to actually try and open it. So what we have there is a lot of ITI students and other students who come, and it's called e-waste recycling, plastic recycling, because we shred the plastic, whatever comes through e-waste, and that is sold recycled. And it's a hobby center. So hobby center meaning whatever you get, like you get little capacitors and things like that. So people can use those to make robots or other items. So ITI people are coming there actually and taking these items and trying to build something. And we collect e-waste from societies, from, that is the picture in the middle over there. I think it's, I think your red light is not working probably. Anyway, so it's the one in the middle, bottom down, that's Tata Motors. Middles, yeah. So they also collect e-waste for us. All their staff, employees, they bring in e-waste. And that is again recycled. So at this e-waste center, if you come and visit, you will see that the dismantled MS plastic is recycled. All the motherboards and other stuff are then sent to Alwar in Rajasthan. They have a huge recycling plant there through Greenscape Eco Management. So we've tied up with them. It's a Delhi-based company. And all the heavy metals, they are not recycled. They are not, what should I say? It's called urban mining. Okay, so you try and get these metals back. So that doesn't happen in India, unfortunately. So we've got a contact with a Belgian company. So all this material is sent to Belgium, and then from there you can get your silver, gold, titanium, platinum. Okay, so if one of you want to start something like this, it's an initiative to start this company where you can recycle and get these metals out. It's not there in India at the moment at all. So this is the e-waste center. If you had looked at it before, should have put that picture in. It had no roof. All the walls were broken. No windows, nothing. So this Greenscape Eco Management has put in a lot of money. I think up till now they've put in almost 50 to 60 lakhs to repair just the structure. And then you can see inside the hall, all this dismantling is not done with machines. It has to be, it's very, very labor intensive. It has to be done manually because each product is different. So here we've employed 2-3 people and they dismantle all these things. They separate out all the plastic, MS, wires. From the wires, they will get the copper out. So all this goes on there. And you can see some children there. So that is students from another college, PCCOE. So, sorry, they've come there for a visit. E-waste experience. So I'm hoping you all come as well. And I think we're trying to arrange it in January, ma'am. So we also do renewable energy. So this windmill was actually fitted on in the Science Museum at Chinswad. You should go and see that museum. It's got an excellent auto section. So please try and make a trip. It's brilliant. So what is happening right now, this windmill is very tiny. So they had solar to show they didn't have a windmill. So we did that. And the windmill is actually operating. They've got this gadget. You must have seen this where the ball goes up and down and it moves all other kinds of things. So it's using energy, solar energy, to make that work. Okay, then besides that, we also felicitate Swachh Karmacharis. So they're also always working really hard. So what we did was we gave them steel bottles for their excellent work in the community. So there we have the commissioner who felicitated some youngsters like you. So like I all the time keep reiterating, you are the future. So we are expecting a lot from you. Innovations, improvements, whatever. Not only for you, it is also for future generations. Okay. So you don't want your future generations to be going through rubbish or to be living in polluted conditions. So I'll tell you who all we felicitated there. One was an 11th standard boy in Delhi. So what is he doing? He's making sleeping bags out of old jeans. So he collects old jeans. He did a lot of research, almost for a year, found that jean material, it actually is an insulator. It collects a lot of heat if you put it in layers because of the air in the middle and the material itself. So he made sleeping bags and they distribute it in Delhi in winter to any person who needs it. So he started this on his own. Okay, so the first sleeping bag he's made himself. But now they have got a tailor and they've got other things. So this kind of a thing, we are expecting something from you all. Start something. Okay, and if you need CSR funding, we are there to help. Then the other person was from Rudra, I think it's called Rudra Recyclers or something like that. So that lady makes polyfuel out of plastics. Medha Tarpatrikar. You might, if you Google her, you'll find it. And so she was felicitated as well. Then there was this other person from Ahmedabad, and he's just started about 3-4 years back. So he's using industrial dust and the dirty plastic which you get lying around, and he's making paving blocks. So these are the things we felicitate. Anything, and there's also another, you must have heard of E-Charkha, where she collects plastic and she makes bags, handbags, luxury bags from this recycled plastic. So we've gone and visited that place. So actually manually they cut this plastic, all any bags, say atta bag or wafer bag, this kurkure bags, anything. And then they bind them together just by spinning it. You've seen the Gandhian wheel. They use that charka, they spin it, and then they make bags out of it. Okay? They weave it into bags. So all these people are felicitated, and I'm hoping that this whole thing motivates you into doing something for the environment, whatever you want to do. So what can you do for ECA? Okay? So one is you can volunteer. That's the easy part. So if we have any program and if I inform your staff and sir, and you want to come and volunteer, you can do that. Other thing is join ECA as a team leader. So we've got some colleges where students have joined as a team leader. So they organize events, and it's a huge practice for them. So they organize it, we help them out. So, but you have to come with ideas, come and talk to us about them. If you think it's feasible, then we'll go ahead with it. Okay, so you can even join as a team leader. Give ideas for project. You can write to us, WhatsApp us, whatever it is, just tell us if you have any project in mind. But it has to be related to environment, because we are an environment NGO. Organize an event, then crowdfunding. One of the colleges, they did some crowdfunding for us on a platform. And it was interesting. They came up with many problems. So, you know, then you talk through problems, so they understand then what is crowdfunding, what it can cause, what problems it involves. Okay, so initially they'd not thought of any receipts or anything. Then they realize, oh no, we must give some kind of a receipt to someone. So, you know, all these things. Then a research project. So that, like I told you, how Indira College took part in the pollution one. So Ladat, I think I sent you information on PCMC. They have wastewater treatment. They wanted to know how many societies around would like to use that water for gardening. So that is again field work, where you go out to societies and ask them. You talk to the chairman, again you're talking to many people, you try and figure out, you try and convince them that it's good to use this water for gardening, we'll save water. And then to get the information back, and you have to give this information to PKC, which is the Pune Knowledge Cluster at the university. So they are helping PCMC with this project. So you can do all these kind of research projects. And the last one, and which a lot of students want to do, is to get photos of different habitats. Okay, and we had a competition. So for all the different habitats, you select one if you want. You check out what kind of wildlife comes there. You can have like a photo competition. Okay, so these are things which you all can do. And I'm hoping that I'll get at least a few volunteers here and a few team leaders who can help out with these kind of either volunteering or team leaders or organizing some events. Okay, so any questions you have now? About any project or anything which, any ideas or anything you want to do? Or if anyone's passionate about something, some environment thing, you can speak up. I think they're a bit, maybe in next time when I come in you will, because it's the first time. Huh? So think about it, please. The idea is to, you know, just let it sink in, and I'm hoping that some of you will take part. All right, thank you, sir. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your invaluable lessons. I'm sure the students have gained abundance of knowledge from the session. Thank you once again, ma'am. And we look forward your next visit to our campus again.